Oh, bother.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Yin Yang, and today we're going to be jumping back in with another modded faction showcase for Total War Warhammer 3. If you're anything like me, then you're probably looking very forward to the next DLC coming later this year, which will feature our official 100th campaign. However, you may not know that there are already over 140 additional campaigns from which you can choose thanks to our wonderful modding community, all of which I aim to show you here in this series. So if that sounds exciting to you like it does to me, then let's get started with today's feature. Alright, and for today's feature we're going to be looking at Gitilla da Hunta and the Howler's tribe. Writing down Skaven clans was not enough for Gutilla, and after gathering together other dissatisfied wolf riders, he splits off from his former tribe in pursuit of greatness. And that's really going to speak a lot to his actual campaign. Now, before I get too far into this, I do want to give credit where it's due. This is going to come to us from the Wheeze Special Mod series by Lost to Insanity. He is an amazing modder, and he's been doing a lot of work to really bring the greenskins the kind of attention that other factions get from either Creative Assembly or other modders. And when I say that, I mean like obviously the Norska mod bringing 13 characters in, or legendary characters just fleshing out everybody all the time, everywhere, whenever, or Stradivarius and his Skaven mods. So that being said, let's talk about what Gutilla's got going on. As you can see, he's going to have Nomadic Camp, which is going to make him play a lot like a Vampire Coast faction, except obviously he's going to be land-based. If you don't want to settle, you don't ever really have to settle. Of course, you're going to have to make sure that you have enough movement points to go into encampment stance, but as long as you're not going into force march, you're not going to have that problem anyway. He has his own special WH, which contains Goblin Wolf Riders, which, okay, that's not really great, but he does beef up these Goblin Wolf Riders and the Wolf Rider chariots with extra range and glorious charge. He's also going to be a raider, so he's going to have 30% income from raiding, 30% income from sacking and from looting, and finally he's going to have his own little special WH, which I'll let you guys check out here if you want to pause the video. Now, as for his start location, he's going to be starting, well, not here. This is wrong. This is the this is where he originally came from. I can't remember the actual name of that tribe. We'll check it out when we get in game. But he is actually coming from right here, just on the west bank of the River Ruin, smack dab in the middle of some Chaos Dwarfs, and you're going to have a pretty tough start. Let's just say that. Now, as for his lore, I'll just go ahead and read this real quick. So after years on Wolfback, Gutilla is a master raider and a scout beyond compare. None can match his sudden assaults or wily feints along the enemy's flanks. With his enormous bow, for a goblin anyway, Gutilla has become a deadly accurate marksman. So if all of that sounds like a fun campaign to you, let's get into it. Let's see if this is really the kind of campaign that you would like to play. And, you know, if not, then do me a favor and leave a like down at the bottom of this video, and let's get started. Now, as we dive into this campaign, you will find that you are in a bit of a precarious position. To your south, if you have these guys. Now, I believe that there is a Darkland Orcs faction, or a faction that would start here anyway of Orcs, but this is going to be the Darkland Orcs faction, and we'll touch on them at a later date, but they're going to be your natural allies if you want to try and start making nice with them. You're also going to have the Demon Stump and the Force. This is just like a starting army for you to fight against, but you're going to be, like I said, up against it. To your east, you're going to have Dwarfs. To your north and west, you're going to have Chaos Dwarfs. To your southeast, you're going to have some Ogres. Like I said, to your south, probably your only real friends. And then to your west, you're going to have other greenskins, and that's a little bit further west. This is going to be where we came from, the Moon Howlers tribe, and their settlements are going to be here and here. And finally, you're going to have Clan Rictus coming out of the Crookback Mountains. You know, just someone for you to run up against. Going to be kind of a tough fight if you don't have the resources to fight them, but that is again something that we'll talk about later. And I know, tough fight against Skaven, but they can be because you're goblins. You're not much. You're not. You have no superiority over them. So let's join forces with our shaman, and let's get into our first battle. After which we'll come back out and we'll talk about some of the campaign mechanics and what else is going on, like some direction, all that stuff. So let's get into it. And here we are joining the big bad Gobbo himself as he moves along the edge of the enemy, trying to keep out of their range, but these hobgoblins have a little bit better range. And something you're going to probably notice as a theme of a campaign like this is that you're going to have to stay mobile. If you're not into kiting campaigns, this might not be the style for you. Now you will start with a small complement of a foot force as well, including some trolls. They do a pretty good job. And so too does your wizard that's going to come alongside you. I'm sorry, the goblin shaman. But all in all, you're going to want to stay mobile. You're going to want to outflank and outflank your enemies. And I'm going to let the battle do the rest of the speaking for itself, and I'll see you back on the campaign map. And coming back in, of course, we have a decisive victory. Oddly enough, not enough XP gained to get him to the next level, but that's okay. And we're going to eat those captives so that we can replenish all of our health, because we've got another battle to jump right into in the Demon Stump. Before we do that, however, I do want to show you the Horde building panel. So, not really going to be anything terribly unique about this, but we can definitely look at the camp itself. So you're going to have your normal camp structure. It goes all the way up to the Howler's host. That's going to be his top tier encampment. And then this is going to be his unique building. And I'll let you guys read what it does, but obviously it's going to be minus 25% upkeep for Wolf Riders and Wolf Rider chariots. Just leaning really into what all you're going to really want to be focusing on with Gitilla da Hunta. Now, he might make a better legendary lord for another faction. This is going to be a pretty tough faction, having a goblin focus, but I mean, what's Total War if what's a Total War player, excuse me, if not someone who seeks a challenge? All right, and as you can see, this is going to be his, most of these buildings are pretty basic. You're not going to really see too much terribly unique out of this, but there you go. And again, what really makes Gutilla unique isn't going to be his unique mechanics, but it's his unique playstyle. This is going to be for a player who wants to build tall, for a player who wants to move around and not be tied to a land, although you can definitely take land and forge your own little empire, but it's going to be hard to forge a world-spanning empire with this kind of character. So this is going to be for more of a roleplay scenario. Now, let's go ahead and move in against Demon Stump. As you can see, that is going to bring us a lot of sack value, so let's get into it. And here we are back on the move with Gutilla as he attempts to take the Demon Stump, or at least take it for all it's worth. Now, something to keep in mind when you're playing with this, well, with this tribe specifically, is once again staying on the move. You've got to pull your enemies out, isolate them, and destroy them. You're not going to be able with Wolf Riders to come in against your enemies and well, really just take them in a head-on charge. They're just not that kind of unit, and that is going to be your primary unit, so just keep that in mind. Even you know, playing with a Goblin Horde, you can probably get more accomplished than with just Wolf Riders, and that's primarily what you have, at least until you can take a settlement. Now, as you can see, the plan here was to run up and start drawing them out, trying to isolate them in pockets, while the main force moved up so that we could have a line-on-line battle and then take advantage of their open flanks with our cavalry. We'll have to see how that goes, but I'll let the battle once again speak for itself. All right, and after another victory, we are left with a decision. Do we loot and occupy, raise, or sack? Now, raising probably not a great option. It would increase our reputation, but it wouldn't really help us in what we need, which is money. Looting and occupy does sound like a great option. However, you're just not getting as much money, and you're going to be occupying right in the heart of Chaos Dwarf territory, which is something you really don't want to do because you want to stay on the move, or at least at first. So we're going to sack. And while I could go back and raise it to the ground right now, that would take the rest of our movement points, which we desperately need. So we're going to start moving west along the road. And finally get to utilize some of these skill points. So we're going to go for Inspiring Presence and Route Marcher so that we can move even further, and then Inspiring Presence because we need to start focusing on bringing our troops up, and then Replenish units because we're going to need, obviously, unit replenishment. Now, as far as what you can recruit starting off, it's going to be wolves and more wolves. So I would say get one of each. That's what I like to do. And then as far as the research tree, nothing's really going to change, so just focus on what you would focus on if you were trying to build a goblin empire, probably starting with Gobby Gobbos. And that's really going to be it for your turn 1 scenario. If you want to stick around for a little bit longer, I'm going to continue this campaign just until we get to a more satisfying conclusion, maybe another battle, maybe 2 more battles, and then we'll close it up. But for those of you who want to drop off now, let's talk about who this campaign is for. So this campaign is for the player who wants to play tall, who wants to stay on the move, who wants to be the scourge, you know, the scourge of God or the scourge of Sigmar, whatever you want to call yourself. I guess out here you'd probably be the scourge of oh gosh, what is their god? I can't remember. Oh, my lore friends are gonna kick me while I'm down on this one. Anyway, you be the scourge of the Chaos Dwarfs, or you could move west, you could move east into Cathay. Those lands are ripe for the plunder. You can stay out here, kind of focus on holding down the Silver Road. Well, I guess it's not the Silver Road out here, but holding down the trade route from west to east or east to west and raiding those caravans as they come through. I know a lot of them like to hang out or like to jump towards the Tower of Gorgoth as they're making their way west. So that's a great position for which you can raid those characters and really make some quick money. Not as quick as when you could get 20,000 gold off of them, but still. Anyway, if this campaign sounds good to you, then definitely go and check out Wee's Speshul. It's a great mod series, and Lost to Insanity is just a great modder. Anyway, for those of you who are sticking with me, let's get this thing rolling. We'll continue. I'll pick this up in a couple turns when we have some more action, and I'll see you there. Now, as we come back in, we have arrived at Mount Silverspear. Outside of Mount Silverspear is Tretch Craventail. So, we're kind of left with a choice here. We can either, and let me back this out, we can either attack Tretch Craventail, wait for him to attack Mount Silverspear and then attack him after that, or take Mount Silverspear out from under him. Now, while I am certainly inclined to attack Tretch Craventail and then take Mount Silverspear, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, I believe that he would run, we would chase him, and then depending on how that battle went, we would come back battered and bruised and open to attack from his allies. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take Mount Silverspear out from under him before he ever has the opportunity. And I know, betraying our own kind, but it's okay. They'll forgive us one day. And it looks like Tretch is actually going to come in and do the job for us. So let's allow him to do that. I'm going to fight the battle, but I'm going to cut this one out because we're not going to be getting much action. We'll just let Tretch do all the dirty work for us, and then he'll be even in worse shape to fend us off. So let's get into it, and I'll see you on the other side. And without a single drop of wolf blood spilt, we now have Mount Silverspear.
Chieftain of the deep.
Did that hurt Tretch's feelings? Maybe, but that's not our problem. So, what we're gonna do now is go ahead and continue recruiting, and we're gonna bring in a new face. Let's see. Let's go with an orc. We're gonna get an orc to help us out.
Let's get stabby. Dogs will.
And just in case our friends get any ideas, let's go ahead and give him some extra help. There we go.
Best idea yet.
Now, the plan to finish out this Let's Play will be probably just to unite this territory. However, we could always go further if there was demand for it. Not really trying to make this into a whole series, but if you guys like it, then I would definitely be willing to do it. Just let me know down in the comment section below.
Stop the wall. Now? What?
We'll go with Vindictive Glare. And I do believe that that is it for this turn. So I'll see you here in a few turns when things heat up again. Or maybe next turn, who knows. Alright, and coming back in, we have a defensive battle. The Overlords of Zarduk, led by Rykart the Unbreakable, have decided to come and finish us off, I guess, because it's saying that we're going to have a valiant defeat. Now, I'm going to let this be the last battle of this Let's Play. So, guys, if you like this, then and want to see it continue, hopefully past this battle, we'll see how it goes, then let me know down in the comment section below. If not, please do me a favor. If you made it this far, leave me a like. Let me know who you'd like to see next, and I will try to make that happen. So, that being said, let's get into this battle, and I will see you guys on the other side. Much like the army of Marcus Licinius Crassus, the Chaos Dwarfs are wandering into a land that they don't understand against a foe they can't possibly hope to beat, not as they are now. Their heavy armor is going to mean nothing in the face of our tactics. So let's let this battle play out, and I will see you guys back in the campaign map to close out this episode. and an overwhelming victory snatched from the jaws of defeat. So, I think that shows that sometimes having double the numbers will eliminate any strengths that the enemy has. But that being said, we're going to eat these captives, or maybe we should ransom them. No, we're going to eat them, and then we're going to go ahead and close this out once this turn rolls around. And guys, again, let me know if you want me to continue this. This has been a lot of fun, but as all good things, we're going to let it come to an end. Oh man, a lot of greenskins getting wiped out.
Your
Actually, what did he want? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Because we are at an end. But like I said, let me know if you want to see this continue. If not, let me know what you'd like to see next. And as always, to all my friends, wherever you are, good morning, good evening, and good night. I'll catch you in the next one.